What up guys, Rancer890, welcome to more iRacing. As you can see, we are
track's clear.
Testing
push.
the IR18, IndyCar 18. We're on Barber just because my league race for ABIL, the next race is at Barber, so we're just being here at this track. So this is a public session. Actually no, this is a private session. I was getting my videos mixed up. So after this video, I'm also going to plan a Barber lap guide, and that is actually in a hosted session. So getting my things mixed up again. So anyways, so I guess we'll just talk a little bit about the car and some of my own opinions and some of the information that I found off the internet. Because I have some notes in front of me again. Funny thing is, this is my second attempt at this post commentary. The first attempt, it was around 25 minutes. The video itself was like what, 22 minutes or so, and I ended up ranting for almost half of it. So I was like, no, I don't want to do this. I sounded way too whiny. So we're gonna be a bit more concrete with everything. We're gonna have more information, and then we'll talk a bit about it. So let's talk about the car for a sec. So this information, once again, I'm no expert or engineer. A lot of it was just taken off some of the media sites and whatnot. So the biggest difference between the DW12 and the IndyCar 18 is the shifting of the downforce. So the DW12, a lot of the downforce was utilized through the top of the car, through the wings, as you can see from the DW12, as well as the various, as well as the Honda and the Chevy Aero kit. There was a lot of different winglets and everything. In the DW12 setup sheet, there were a lot of different wicker options. The IR18 simplifies a lot of that. So if you want pure numbers, in the IR18, 66% of the downforce is now coming from underneath the car at the undertray. So that's basically an increase of 19% from I believe, the DW12 with the specific aero kits. I'm not exactly sure whether that number is from the original DW12 single aero for both manufacturers, but a lot more of the downforce is coming from the undertray. So that is also good. The second thing is the shedding of overall downforce. So I'm here, I looked around, there were a lot of different numbers. I wasn't really sure what I was looking at, but the numbers, most sources say between 1,500 and 2,400 pounds of downforce is gone from the car. So in short, this basically means there's less winglets and stuff, just to prevent, just to have the car kind of drive itself. So it's a lot of the driving
Sector
is
3 time is
back
fast
to the race car driver. So it's going to depend. It's going to be a bit faster in a straight line, and you're probably going to brake a bit earlier. So I was trying to look for some DW12 downforce levels. I found an article. I don't know how old it was. I think it was from 2003.
Sector 1 time's
I'm
okay.
not exactly sure, but I don't think the numbers are that far off. Downforce levels that we have from the DW12. I think F1 itself is like a lot higher than IndyCar. 8,000, 9,000 for F1. I think IndyCar is anywhere from 3,500 to 5,000 pounds of downforce for the road course configuration. So let's assume that's somewhere around the ballpark. You take out around 1,500 to 2,400. That's almost half it. So
you've just done a 106.9.
That's your
quickest lap.
From
Sector 3 time is quick.
And the other additional thing was that of that 3,500 to 5,000 pound downforce, let's say 2/5 to 1/2 of it was just coming from the top side, wings basically. So that's kind of the nitty-gritty stuff. That's not really iRacing related. So let's kind of
You're a tenth off in sector
go
1.
into the setup sheet, I would have to say, because there are some differences. Not very. It's mostly just the aero. So first things first, what's similar? So the car doesn't have rear pods anymore. So the rear car dashings are gone. It wasn't really useful and kind of messed a lot with the downforce level. So balance was always a little bit off, just because of the extra weight at the back and kind of understeer on X on corner entry and kind of oversteer on X a little bit. So
That last lap was at 107.1.
Really
You're now
good thing,
0.2 off the leader's pace. Sector 3
think
is
with the DW12,
0.1 off the pace.
Work a bit around the ballast, and then you just kind of you'll solve one problem, but then you'll create two other problems that would happen later on in the race. Like, it would be fine in the first little stint, and then as the fuel kind of wore off and balance, the car kind of changed.
You're a tenth off the pace in sector 1.
It's kind of out of whack. So with the IR18, it kind of fixes that. It looks better, and more importantly, the car balance is much more even between the front of the car and the back of the car. So one other big thing between the DW12 and the IR18 is the aero options. So in the DW12, there were a lot of wicker options. There were wing options that you can kind of adjust. There were a lot of options for the front and the rear wing. So
That lap was at 106.8.
Right,
That's your fastest lap today.
IR18,
Sector 3 times okay.
there are basically two plain wing flaps. Basically, one set is for short ovals and road courses under 1 mile, and the other set is basically for speedways like Texas, like Pocono, like Indy. So essentially, the single plane is for speedways, and double is for short ovals.
You're 2 tenths off the pace in sector 1.
That's relatively simple right there. So for the front and rear wickers, there's basically one option. So you either don't have the wicker, or you have this, or you have the wicker. So normally for road courses, you'll kind of need the wickers. So that's relatively straightforward.
Sector 2 is 2 tenths off the pace.
The rear wing angle is also, there's not a whole lot of adjustment. So the maximum rear wing angle is 40.4 degrees, and then it goes down to like 32. I forgot what the decimal is, 32.8 or something like that. So
That was
place
at
like Barber,
107.1. So that puts you
pretty
0.2 off the pace.
it's a high downforce track. Lots and lots of medium high-speed corners. You can just put the wicker on, put max downforce on. It's pretty easy, and then you're just gonna have to adjust the front wing angle to whatever fits towards what you need. So max
Sector 1 time is good.
I think is around 12.8 degrees or so. So, and then you can do everything else from there. So one interesting thing that's different between the I wouldn't say interesting, but
You're 2 tenths off the pace in sector 2.
So in the Indy, the W12, there was the radiator inlet. So there are 3 options in the W12. There was open, there was half, and there was 2/3. 2/3 you always use for qualifying, and 1/2, or no, my mistake, 1/3 and 2/3.
That lap was at
1/3 is for race,
106.9. You're less than a
2/3
tenth off the
for
pace. You need to find a tenth in sector 3.
qualifying. And that was that. So it's kind of like that with the inlet. So basically, what the inlet is, it's basically on the sides. You kind of see at the front of the car. There's carbon fiber pieces. So basically, you can kind of choose. There's like 5 different options. So there's basically open inlet, and then there's 4 other percentages. So basically, this inlet, it decreases downforce, but also decreases drag. So, and you kind of want it to decrease drag just because it's a Formula car, and what you want to do with the aero calculators to maximize the downforce to drag ratio. So you want as much, you either want more downforce or you want to get decreased drag, and most people would want to decrease drag. So just because if you increase downforce,
you've just done a 107.3. You're currently 0.5 off the pace. Sector 3 is 0.5 off the pace.
Right. So, so the thing is that if you close the inlet more, your engine will overheat. And there's, from what I've seen, there's pretty much only one acceptable setting right now, because the other
you're a tenth off the pace in Sector 1.
It's just gonna, the engine will overheat and it will blow up. So that's one thing you kind of have to be aware of. The IR18 will blow up if you try to have too much, try to close full with it.
You need to find a tent in Sector 2.
But otherwise, the rest of the car should be the same. Suspension shouldn't be that much different. Maybe, as I said, ballast might be a bit different. I'm not exactly sure about the rear of the car, the older wing settings. I mean, the older spring settings.
That was a 106.9. That puts you 0.1 off the pace. You're a tenth off the pace in Sector 3.
In terms of driving the car, I honestly haven't really seen a huge difference. But the one thing is that from this video, I am in I'm not in field map 1. If you haven't
you're a tenth off in Sector 1.
12 videos, a lot of them, I was able to control the throttle with field map 1, basically linear throttle shape, but 6 and 7 is basically the same power, just more of an S throttle shape curve. So I can't really seem to get power on an exit, which is kind of
Sector 2 is 0.2 off the pace.
When I've seen other people posted sessions, they were struggling on powering the car on corner exit because of fuel map. So I think that fuel map 1 is probably not advisable for a lot of people anymore, just because it's...
That last lap was at 106.9. You're now 0.1 off the leader's pace. Sector 3 time is quick.
The one thing that I'm not sure if it's too accurate is it's still a bit planted, in my opinion. I don't know if this is just the setup that we have. It's a really good setup.
You're 2 tenths off the pace in Sector 1.
Especially, I think there was a max children on board from Sebring modified during February testing. It was like the car was dancing, and he was using his rear lock. I don't know if it's an iRacing thing or just the way we can build very, very stable setups. We don't have that. it's very, very calm. It's very, very predictable movements.
Richard, come on, keep it between the lines. They'll delete this lap.
IR12 is still applicable to the IR18, so I guess that's probably why. I'm not completely sure. But one thing that I have to say, the biggest difference between GW12 and IR18 is that setups might be a little bit harder. I'm not even talking about the aero. The aero, I think people will figure it out, and there's not a whole lot you can really do about it. But the suspension, because of the amount of downforce being led through the undercarriage, it's kind of like, to me it reminds me
Sector 1 is 0.4 off the pace.
And with the ground effects, so you have to get your suspension right. It has to be comfortable for you to drive, because there's less downforce settings to work with. You can't really, in the DW12, if your chassis wasn't
you're a tenth off the
good,
pace in Sector 2.
you can still get away with it because like it has to be in the ballpark. You kind of still get away with it with running higher downforce, but with how limited the options are now.
That was at 107.1. You're currently 0.3 off the pace. Sector 3 is a tenth off the pace.
More of a narrower sweet spot, I guess you can say, for the chassis setup, the suspension and dampers. So I guess in that respect it will be a little bit harder. So even DW12 I can kind of just
Sector 1 is 0.2 off the pace.
Some roll bar changes with the front and the rear, and it would be okay. I tried that with one of my older sets from DW12. I kind of transitioned or changed some things. Chassis wasn't very good, and I kind of
you're a tenth off the pace in sector 2.
Kind of created a bigger problem. It was either a lot tighter on entry or a lot more looser on exit. It just wasn't very good balance. So best thing is to make sure all your settings are proper and whatnot, and try not to rely too much on
that lap was at 107.2.
So,
you're now 0.3 off the pace. Sector 3 is 0.4 off the pace.
The easiest change you can kind of see is your steering wheel. So it's a Cosworth steering wheel, as it says right in front of you. LED display. There's basically two different pages you can choose from. Both of them have all the information on the neutral bars, weight jackets for ovals, RPM, speed, and so on and so forth. So that's really nice. The one thing that you have to remember is that for iRacing you can't really hide the steering wheel anymore because of this extra display. So that's just one more thing. You're not the steering wheel will still be there for someone who does not want to see the steering wheel in the sim. So characteristics, overall DW12 a lot of understeer. It's just hard to balance.
The last lap was at 107.2. That puts you 0.4 off the pace. Sector 3 is 0.3 off the pace.
There'll still be some understeer, but it's more from other sources, like if your camber settings aren't very optimal, you're kind of getting a bit too much tire wear. It's more of that, less than the car itself. So that's a plus.
You're a tenth off the pace in sector 1.
Oval. I don't have any oval footage. Kind of terrified of it. So from what I've been hearing from the shakedown races I've been doing, the draft is pretty far back, and I'm kind of terrified about it.
Sector 2 is 0.2 off the pace.
Plus. So what I liked about the DW12 is that oval racing was actually challenging in a way, because you had to deal with aero push and a lot of aero push sucked, but it was more of
You've
a
just done a 106.9. You're currently 0.1 off the leader's pace.
I had a lot of fun because I was making that call there. But home sim new car, I don't really know. I was planning to do is fix it, but it's with how the car is right now, like pack racing, I don't really like pack racing.
Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace.
Admittedly, I'm a Dan Logan fan, and this was kind of my rant. Take one. I don't want a pack race. I just think it's stupid. I think it's a lottery. I think that the most skill driver should win, and I'm not the most skill driver.
We need to find a 10th in sector 2.
That is my one big concern with regards to the speed reconfiguration. So I don't really know much about it. I haven't really tested a whole lot. So hopefully things.
That last lap was at 107.0. You're currently 0.1 off the pace. Sector 3 times okay.
Yeah. Road, I think it'll be fine. There was aero push. It wasn't really even that bad on the roadside, just because of the push to pass. And speaking of push to pass, it should change. In DW12, we had 10 pushes to pass.
You're 2/10 off the pace in sector 1.
IR18, I think we had around 200 seconds around, and you can kind of press the push to pass button twice to engage and twice to stop it. So you can, if you want like 5 seconds to push to pass it.
Sector 2 is 0 tenths off the pace.
Later, press it again, and it stops the count. The thing is that I do not know how much push to pass we have left. I can't really find it. I guess we'll have to figure that out in the race. So that's kind of my only thoughts that I have that can fit in this video. So future.
That lap was at 107.1. You're now
Barber
0.3 off the pace.
Barber
Sector 3 is 0.3 off the pace.
A bit do one. I'm still kind of waiting for my paint. So once that's done, I'll probably work on that and upload that as well. And that's kind of it. If there's anything that you like, dislike, disagree, agree,
Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace.
If you liked it, like the video, thumbs up. You want to hear, if you want to see more like the lap guide videos or other iRacing full races, click subscribe for more. Follow me on Twitter. Links below. And we'll see you
Sector
guys
2 time
next
is quick. That was a 107.2. That puts you 0.3 off the leader's pace. Sector 3 is 0.3 off the pace. Watch those track limits.